I am Dr. Deirtre. Yes, I am your sister, your aunt, your mother, your coach for this next 30 days. Provoking, pushing, challenging, charging you to become the best version of yourself. Okay? And so if you are in with me right now, go ahead and put in the chat your name and where you are from. All right? And so we've been talking about a year, a new year, and everyone goes, Happy New Year. But is it really going to be a new year? Or is it supposed to be a new you that creates this new year that you're looking for? That we all proclaim, that we're all speaking and saying. But really, the year could really be your old year, your last year, your last 5 years, your last 10 years, unless you make the necessary steps to make the changes to become new. Okay? So, small recap about the fact that self development is a lost art, that over 78 billion people, approximately, even more and climbing, is here in the world. And 5% of the 78 billion, only 5% work on self development and self enhancement. And guess what? Out of that 5%, 1% stick with it and make it a passion for their lives, that they are constantly working on becoming a better person, constantly working on the better version of themselves. So, my question to you is, are you one of those one percenters? And I also talked about the fact that there's a 1% group of wealthy people, and they make up 50% of the world's wealth and income. And I'm saying, is self discipline and self mastery and self enhancement and self growth a direct correlation or in alignment with the wealth and the wealthy? In all my searching, in all my studies, and in all my teachings of others, my coaching and my mentoring, I found out that there is a direct connection. So let's get started so that you can become one of not just the 5% that starts on self development, but one of the 1% that makes self development your passion, your drive, right? Okay. So we talked about self development and self enhancement. One of the biggest things that it brings about and it helps you with is self awareness, becoming aware of oneself, knowing one's strengths and or weaknesses, knowing one's success and your failures, that which makes you feel good and that which makes you feel bad, that which brings anxiety and that which causes ease. Okay? So today, I want to, and on yesterday, we talked about weaknesses and blowing up the myth about weaknesses. Are they really bad? Are they something that you really need to hide? Are they something that you should be ashamed of or embarrassed of? And we dealt with that on yesterday. If you did not get that lesson, guess what? You can go back and watch the replay of day 3, day 2, and day 1. And let me say this, if you're coming in later after this video is over, I want you to put in the chat hashtag replay. But those of you that are with me right now, I want you to go ahead and put in live. Go ahead and put in live. But those of you that come in later, you go ahead and put in a replay. Okay? So let's get started. I'm excited. Let's open this box, Dr. D, and let's share these goodies, these nuggets, these hints, these tips of wisdom that you have for us on today. So today I want to talk about getting out of the boat, AKA your comfort zone, getting out of the boat. So I want to read to you some statistics, well, not statistics, But some scientific information that I found, it says that science has confirmed, listen to this. Science has confirmed that once you know the best way of doing something and get into repetition mode, your brain's learning begins to shut down. What? Once you scientifically proven, I'm not making this up, that once your mind gets in repetition mode, your brain's learning center, the portion of your brain that absorbs and soaks up new information, your brain's learning center begins to shut down. This is scientifically proven. What it is called, it's called muscle memory. Somebody put that in the chat, muscle memory. And what that means is that you've done something for so long, the same way, the same time, or whatever, that now you no longer need the brain to assist you to do it. So the brain doesn't need to function. It doesn't need to learn. It doesn't need to act. It doesn't need to respond. It just does it automatically. Or I should say your muscles do it automatically without the brain's help and or assistance. I'll prove it to you. Driving a car. When you first learned how to drive, your brain was absorbing. Your brain's learning center was wide open. It was open for information. It was open for what were the signals, what were the signs, when to go, when to stop, and all of that. But now when you start driving after 20, 30, 40, 50 years, you can automatically get in your car. You can hit the gas and the brake when you're supposed to. And this is all without thinking. This is all without your mind. You could be totally focused on something else and still know when to hit the gas, when to hit the brake, when to hit the signal, how to turn the car, and all of that. Why? Because it now has become muscle memory. It's no longer the brain being activated in the process. Some of us are working. Some of us have jobs that we've been on for the last 20, 30, some 40 years, and it's so mundane, it is so monotonous, it is so repetitious, it's the same thing, day in and day out. Pack the boxer, unpack the boxer, make the donuts, glaze the donuts, sell the donuts, box the donuts. It's the same thing. Make the donuts, glaze the donuts, box the donuts, sell the donuts, make the donuts, glaze the donuts. You think you got it. That after a while, you feel like you're not fulfilled at your present job. You feel like you're not growing. Like you're not expanding. You feel like you're this eagle in this parakeet cage. Why? Because your brain is not being challenged. Your brain is not accepting and learning new information. The excitement of the synapses of the brain is not firing. Why? Because you don't have anything new coming in. The brain's central system of learning has shut down because of something that we call your comfort zone. That's like the car being on cruise control. And for some of us, our lives, and again, you all know, I mentor and I coach leaders, those of us that are powerful, those of us that have excelled. We've got plaques on the wall to prove it. We've got doctorates behind our name. We've got all kind of credentials. We've got all kind of accolades, and yet still we can put ourselves in success mode on cruise control. Comfort zone. So why do I call it the getting out of the boat mentality? Here you have it. Many of you all know this story in the Bible, and I'm not going to go over all the details of it, but I will go over the main portion that I teach and I train as the get out of the boat mentality. So we've got 12 people on a boat, and they see a figure on the boat, on the water, and they say, if it's you, Jesus, Peter says, excuse me, if it's you, Jesus, call me to come out and walk on the water. Now, remind you, these 12 men that are in the boat, they are considered expert fishermen, especially Peter, James, and John. Expert fishermen. They've been on the water before. They've explored and navigated rough terrains in the waters. They know how to boat. They know all of the ins and outs of fishing, boating, and traveling on the water. And yet, Peter decides to say something that is outrageous, that is all of impossible, that is totally going to be done by faith, that's not only coming out of the box, but it's actually annihilating the box and going to do something that has never been done. We call them trailblazers, right? Never ever been done before. Somebody say trailblazer, trailblazer. So he gets out of the boat, he starts walking on the water. Yes, at some point in time, he does begin to sink. And to gain success, I will tell you, no lies, no hidden secrets. There's going to be some failure involved. There's going to be some low days involved. There's going to be some moments of making mistakes and where it won't be perfect, and that will be involved. But guess what? You're walking on water. You're actually doing it. You're actually moving in it. You've actually come out of your comfort zone. You've actually broke out of the box. You've actually broken the glass ceiling. You've actually started making the necessary changes to enhance who you were and start becoming who you need to be. But guess what? There were 11 people out of the 12. 11 people out of the 12 that decided to stay in the boat, AKA the comfort zone. What does that mean? Somebody put AKA comfort zone. Yes, comfort zone. What that means is the boat was familiar. The boat seemed stable. The boat is what they could understand. The boat was something that they did not need to challenge their thinking or challenge their mind or challenge their concepts or even try to excel and learn a new skill, a new art, right? Rowing a boat is a different skill than walking on water. I'm going to say it again. Rowing a boat is a different skill than walking on water. So one is going to cause you to apply more energy, more effort, and maybe even begin to sink in trying it or in doing it. And guess what? That is okay. Somebody put, it's okay to fail. Yes, it's okay to fail. What it is not okay is to be a failure. It's okay to fail because failing is an action word. It denotes action. But becoming a failure now becomes a noun, and that becomes who you are. One is the action that you've taken, and one is now the attributes that you've taken. I had to clap on that. One is the action that you are trying to make and take, which is applauded by success in the end, because Peter did not sink. He was beginning to sink, but yet he came up from there and he realized his mistakes in sinking, and therefore he used those mistakes to walk on water. And that was to take his eyes off of Jesus. So now he knew, won't be doing that again, if I'm going to continue to be successful in walking on the water, then I've got to learn what didn't work, learn what was causing me to sink, and then not do those things, and then learn how to steady myself in this new journey, in this new career, in this new job, in this new expedition. And for some of us, you're staying stuck somewhere and you're so unhappy, you're so not satisfied, you're so unfulfilled, you're successful but not significant in the world, but yet you fear change. You fear transition because you fear failure and you fear the unknown. But I dare you to break the box, bust that glass ceiling, and try to walk on the water. I should have brought me something to swig on. But definition of comfort zone. Definition of comfort zone. I feel something in my throat a little bit, but let's try to keep it moving. Definition of comfort zone: a psychological state in which things feel familiar to a person and they are at ease. They are at ease and they perceive that they are in control. You perceive that you are in control of your life or your environment, experiencing low levels of anxiety and or stress. Sometimes people feel like starting something new is going to become overwhelming, or starting something new is going to bring on all these kind of anxieties and anxiousnesses. But guess what? Stress and anxiety can be built up also from staying the same and staying stuck and feeling unfulfilled and feeling unfruitful, not bearing, not bringing forth, right? So I would rather be moving in a direction and feel the stress of trying to push forward, or feel the stress of staying stuck. I don't do stress at all, period. But if you want to denote, or if you want to categorize something that you're afraid of or fearful of, and it's the stress. Someone said a quote on yesterday, and I thought it was absolutely profound. You will pay for it in some way. Education, they were talking about, right? You either learn how to do it better and pay for the learning, or you don't learn how to do it better and pay for not learning. Either way, you're going to pay. But one way, you'll be excelling, and in the other way, you'll be staying the same. I find out people want to invest in all kinds of things. We rather invest in clothes, shoes, hair, nails, suits, red bottoms, name brands, and all of that, but we will not invest in ourselves. The most important part of this body that you dress up on the outside is so depleted, malnourished, and not looking good all on the inside. Okay? So another word that I found out that I found so amazing, and I want to share it, is that one of the synonyms, well, two of the synonyms for comfort zone, y'all type this up when I give it to you, is hideout. One of the synonyms for comfort zone is hideout. You're hiding from what? You're hiding from your greater self. You're hiding from the better version of yourself. You're hiding from your real potential. It cannot come forth. Why? Because you're smothering it in the comfort zone. 11 people watched Peter become the 1%. They watched Peter become the 1% and watched him walk on water. And never once did they say, I need to try something different. I need to do something new. I need to get out of this boat, as comfortable as it is, and as assured as I am in its stability, because yes, the water has no stability. You don't know what's going to happen to you on the water, for sure. But you built this boat, and so you're going to stay confident and comfortable in what you built. And I told you before in some of our prior lessons, your success can sabotage your future. No, a lot of times for us successful people and people like ourselves that have accomplished much, we can allow our success to be the place where we live and no longer try to tap into where we could go from here. Okay? So, leaving your comfort zone. I want to say, asking yourself a question, because that's what self-awareness is about. Asking yourself questions. Don't you want to discover what you could be? Like, you know who you can be because you've already become her or him. But don't you want to know who you could be? Right? Don't you want to know the places that possibly you could go from here? Or don't you want to know what you could potentially become if you tried something different? You never asked yourself those questions. You never sat off to the side and said, if you did really write that book, could you be a #1 bookseller or best author? If you did start traveling, could you really start a podcast or a show about all the places you could go? Let's not leave it just to Dr. Seuss. But you could go places too and come back and report to people the best places to live, the best places to go, the best places to vacation. You say, no, that could never be me. Why? Why can that not be you? Why are you comfortable with watching others do things that excite you? Why are you comfortable cheering on others as they do those things and you know, I could probably do that better? It's called your comfort zone. So let's move on, because I only have a short time with you all, but you must step out of your comfort zone. The comfort zone is a dangerous place to be in. Let me say that again. The comfort zone is a dangerous place to be in. So let me give you a little story. My son, he plays this game. I don't even want to try to quote the name of the game because I might quote it wrong. But one of the things about the game is that he is the target for another team. They're normally in teams of 3 or 4. So, but they battle against all these other teams. And sometimes they have to run from one house to the next house, or from one location to the next location. And sometimes they get in a vehicle and they try to drive away, or they're running. And I watched him play the game one night, and they're driving the vehicle and they're driving it all sporadically, and they're going, but they're shifting it real hard. Or if they're running, he's running in zigzags and this, that, and the other. And I said, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? That's just so crazy. Or if he's peeking out of the window, he's constantly bobbing around in the window trying to see. And then I asked him, I said, why are you doing that? Just go straight, just ride straight. He said, Ma, if we sit still, then we're easier to be killed. I'm going to say it again. If you sit still, it's easier for you to be killed. You need to keep moving. You need to keep trying things. You need to keep starting things. You need to keep dreaming. You need to keep having a vision or having a hope for something greater, bigger, and better. Don't sit still and die in your comfort zone. Don't sit still and die in the wish I could have, would have, possibly might have if I tried, but now I'm too old, frail, feeble, and cannot accomplish any of those things. Or literally die and have your dreams and visions look over you and say, we're so angry with you. We're so angry with you. And then you look back at your dreams and your visions and your goals and say, what have I done to you? Why are you so angry with me? And your dreams, your visions, your potential, and the thought of becoming says, you never allowed us to roam the earth. You never allowed us to touch people's lives. You never allowed us to service your purpose group. You never allowed us to come out into the world and expose ourselves for what we could have been and what we could have done and what we could have become. And now we have to die with you. Yes? So keep it moving. Don't sit there and die, wishing, hoping, thinking, imagining, right? Step out of the boat. Try it. Even if you do start sinking a little bit, it's okay. There is help. You won't sink. You're just trying something new. Success can become a comfort zone. Success can become a comfort zone. What do you mean? You can say, well, I've been very successful. I'm just going to sit back and relax and just grow old and be happy. I retired. Nope, I done did my time. I done put my time in. We're going to save all this new fandangle for the young folk. But the Bible says that your latter days should be greater than your former days. So if I had to understand that, you should be doing greater things in your older days and years than in your younger days. Why? Because you're more mature, because you're more wiser. You should have more money. You should have more clout. You should have more friends. You should have more outlets and opportunities and open doors. You should have so much more than you had in your 20s, 30s, and 40s, that now that you've gotten older, you should be doing greater, bigger, more magnanimous, more fantabulous things. Why? Because your life has built equity. Your life should have built equity. You should have more value in the house now than you had when you bought it. Can't get there. Okay, but real quick, let's. The comfort zone is a dangerous place to be. It surely feels good. Let's acknowledge that. Being in your comfort zone, kicking up your feet, sipping on lemonade and hanging out in the shade, absolutely feels good to do that. But are you servicing the world with your gifts, your talents, your skill, your knowledge, your wisdom, your expertise, your genius? Are you just going to let that all sit up under a juniper tree and drink lemonade and just tell the juniper tree all of what you used to do and what you used to be? It denotes stagnancy. And where there is stagnancy, you can never find growth. In stagnant water, the only thing that grows there is yeast, mold, mildew, fungus. And stagnant water stinks. And for some of you, you get in the bed at night and you say, my life stinks. I don't like my life. I don't like what I'm doing. Yes, I got the plaque. I got the doctorate, I got the degree, I got the dog, I got the kids, I got the car, I got the house, but my life still stinks. Yes? Stagnant. Your future is being hindered by the comfort zone. Your success is being hindered by the comfort zone. The comfort zone is a stumbling block to your destiny. Choosing to work on improving yourself requires you to step out of the comfort zone. It lets you face your fears. It's going to push you to try new things. Number two, it's going to challenge you to take some risks, getting out of that boat, yes? So Peter had to face his fears. He had to try something new. He had to take the risk. And then you'll have to challenge yourself. And even when you're sinking, challenge yourself to get up and try to walk on the water again. So the 4 points, right? About the travesties of the comfort zone. First of all, the travesties of the comfort zone is that it hinders your success. It becomes a stumbling block to your destiny. It is the enemy of your future, and your life is stagnant. But then the upside of coming out of the comfort zone is that you will discover a new side of your personality. You'll realize that you have different potentials, skills, and talents. Why? Because you're challenging yourself. And then you'll try new things and you'll take more risks. You'll take more risks. And really, it's the people, when I say take risks, it's almost like the Bible saying walking by faith and not by sight. When you're not walking by sight, that means you're walking blind and you're taking a risk to get to the other side of a destination without seeing where you're going. God loves risk takers. He loves water walkers, right? He helps those that are in the middle of the water because they tried something new, and he comes to rescue them so that they can make it to the other side. So let me leave these with you as I get ready to close. There's some comfort zones that I go over with my clients and with those that I mentor, but I'm just going to shoot some of them out to you that you need to identify when you're becoming self-aware, to grow and to expand, to become better. Comfort zone. So one of them that we know is called comfort food, but there's also comfort people, comfort places, and comfort habits. I'm going to say it again. So there's comfort food, comfort people, comfort places, and comfort habits. And until you conquer them and overcome them and overthrow them, you'll stay stuck in the comfort zone. A lot of people say, oh, I'm going to come out of the comfort zone. It's hard to come out of the comfort zone until you can identify the things that keep you in the zone. Say it again. It's hard to come out of the comfort zone until you first become self-aware of the things that keep you in the zone. And it's people, places, things, and habits. People, places, things, and habits. Comfort food or comfort things, comfort people, comfort places, and comfort habits. So, as I close, last 6 points that I want to give you. Without risk, you can never discover your true self. Without risk, you'll never discover your true self. You are living with the pseudo you, not the true you. You're living with the imposter because you're not allowing the true you to explore, to expand, and do that which it is capable of doing because you're keeping it stuck in a zone. Number two, you don't learn much in your comfort zone. Remember, I gave you the scientific notions about the brain. The brain center shuts down in the comfort. It no longer learns. It no longer learns. That's why sometimes you're like, oh, trying to read a book. It's so hard reading a book because the comfort zone has caused your brain's capacity to shut down and dispel learning. Okay. Number three, you may postpone your goals being in the comfort zone. You'll always say, I'll do it next year, next month, next week, tomorrow. You'll always postpone your goals in the comfort zone. It's called procrastination. Number four, routines make you lazy. Routines make you lazy. Routines can be good, but then also routines can make you lazy. Number five. So with that, you need to shake it up every now and again. Number five, you may lose what makes you unique by staying in the comfort zone. Now you fall in the category of the everybody's, the ordinaries, the cookie cutter syndrome. When you stay in the comfort zone, you become status quo. Number six, and I'll final, you'll never discover new dreams staying in the comfort zone. All right? I want y'all to give me some hearts, some love, some claps, some up tops, some yeses, some high fives. Go ahead and put them in the chat. Some smiley faces, some thumbs up. Let me know if I've been talking good, if I've said something that has met you right where you are. And if you're in the comfort zone, I'm the mentor, the coach, the mother, the sister that wants to help you on this journey of getting better. It's so much better when we get better together. Somebody put in hashtag better together. All right, I'm Dr. Deirtre. If you come on late or if you come on later this evening or tomorrow or next week, put in hashtag replay. I'm helping you change your pain into passion, and then shoot, you can turn your passions into profit. You can turn your tragedies into triumphs, and your treasures, you can take that which has been broken and make it something better, right? So join me the next day and for the next 20 something odd days. We're in our 30-day self-discovery, self-awareness, totally self-development challenge. I hope you're growing. I hope I'm pruning some leaves off of you so that you can sprout bigger, better, fuller, and stronger next go round after this pruning. Self-development is most important for self-achievement, self-success, and for whom you show up to be in the world. Your purpose group is waiting for you to become your better self. I love you guys. Have a great day. Share this video. Join me. Make some comments. Share it. Start a watch party, for crying out loud. Okay? Bye-bye, guys.